Welcome back, everybody, to Game Over Cancer 2023 Fall Edition. This is Malcreos. I'll be the host for the remainder of the night. And I'm here with somebody who you may not have heard of before, except for the last 2 days helping us host, LevelUpLeo. So please take it away.
Hi there, I'm LevelUpLeo. I'm going to be running the game Dadish, which is a game essentially made by one person. It's this little indie platformer, and I'm going to talk more about it, but I think it's best if we just get right to it. And before this, we did have a character bid war going on between either the possum that you're currently seeing on screen or the Dadish, who is the, of course, title character of it. And if I'm not mistaken, the Dadish has won the bid war, correct, Mal?
That is correct.
All right, so we're going to be playing as the Dadish. Time starts upon hopping out of the ground in the first level, which happens about just under 3 seconds after I press start here. So let's go ahead. I'm going to press the start button in 3, 2, 1. And time starts. So, as you can see, this first level is just a little tutorial level explaining how you jump and stuff like that. And then we have all this dialogue that we need to mash through. Now, one of the things with the incentives was that you folks were actually kind of deciding the length of this run. Because Dadish has all this dialogue that's going on, he's making jokes with his kids and stuff like that. Meanwhile, the possum, at the end of each level, a possum just screeches a couple of times, and then that is it. So here, this level shows us that we get keys to unlock doors. Sometimes we need those to reach our goals. And this level here is supposed to show you that you can slide a box onto some buttons, but we're just gonna skip that and go right to the kid instead, who was apparently having the time of their life. And also, you may have noticed that I'm hopping a lot. Shoot, I missed that. The platform there. Anyways, you may notice that I'm hopping a lot. That's because this is one of those games where hopping moves you just a couple of pixels forward. So it's a lot faster just constantly be hopping, especially when you're in closed spaces there. Those bounces can really good. Here's a speed run trick I really hope I nail. Yes! Ah, there we go. That was so nice. Beat all of the cycles there. All right. And now next level is level 7, which is one of 2 levels I start by going to the left. I know, going to the left in one of these platformers games. Who would have thought? Alright. I should also mention for the character bid war, not only were you deciding on the length of the game, but I should also mention that while practicing for this mode, I actually managed to get the world record for this specific character on console. So, yeah, I get to show off the not really world record run, but shoot. Okay, that platform was supposed to break. Didn't quite work there, because I must have been standing on another platform. And what's this? A possum? Well, despite not playing as the possum still makes an appearance. And of course, this level shows us these little boxes that we trigger either by hopping on or under. Now, I could have probably hurried up and gotten on another platform, but we'll see in a moment that doesn't really make a difference. And here's one of the first speedrun tricks I learned. Instead of going backwards there, you just do that, so that's really easy. If you just picked up this game, that's the first thing you do. And here's why those cycles with the big Ferris wheel don't really matter, because you're going to be waiting for these platforms anyways when it comes to this point. And I should also mention that the main speedrun tactic for this game is don't die. Dying is slow. Now, because I'm doing the all worlds run, I don't have the timer up, the in-game timer up. So if I hit a flag, it does act as a checkpoint, just in case, for marathon safety and so forth. Oh, and here we get to hit our first boss. It's Burgurgular, and he starts kind of revealing a bit of the plot and who the final boss is going to be. Otherwise, we're just going to press these buttons, jump over him, and he's kinda kill himself. Alright. And one more. If I'm fast enough, you don't even see the key that I grabbed. Yeah, that was fast. Alright. And here's something that I had to practice. In between worlds, after every 10 worlds, you need to press X to be able to get rid of this cutscene. So instead of pressing A the whole time, I'm kind of mashing between X and A. So, that's a little thing for you. Hit that. Alright. This is the level that made me realize I definitely needed to upgrade my hardware. Because there were some movements like that I couldn't do because of the capture delay that I originally had. Like just avoiding those spikes, managing to hit the button and that kind of stuff. I was not doing it, so. And then trigger that button a few times. I like hearing it going boing boing boing. And then we get some meta humor with that. Alright. This is another level where I was like, why do I not get the cycles correct when I'm streaming? And it's because I was delayed and stuff like that, so always make sure. Got a sunburnt radish there. I think the next few levels are not really anything. Oh, I just died there. Dying is slow. So we don't have really much to talk about in the next few levels except my death. So if there's any donations or anything you'd like to talk about, Mel, I think now's the time for that. I guess Mal doesn't have anything to talk about right now. Alright.
Nothing as of yet.
Alright.
But I would like to bring up our wonderful prizes that we've got available for you. So for a donation of $5 or more, you can get one of 3 Steam keys, either Resident Evil 4 Remake, Duck Game, or What is Sleeping in My Room. And for a donation of $10 or more, you can get in for a chance to win the Game Over Cancer custom GameCube controller and the Resident Evil 4 Remake key.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, I've been looking at that controller. It looks real cool. And I don't know what the Who is Sleeping in My Room game is, but that title just intrigues me so much. Here we're going to be doing a little zigzaggy movements. Clearly that part they wanted you to zigzag around, but just double jumping gives you enough height to reach the next floor and hit the spring there. so why not? And here I'm gonna play it safe and follow that hamburger behind. And once again, we get a little meta humor, them saying they fly away at the end of every level. Alright. This one, while practicing, I took a really stupid death. So, really... this one is just like, you gotta pay attention. You can't really do anything to speed up this level, so it's just really boring, and you do it the casual way. Like, I wish there was a way to, like, get under there as soon as you get up, but anything other than that is just slow, and you kinda will get hit. Alright. This one's another example of that, like, there is actually a way to hop over some of these blocks, but it is so risky that, one, I haven't been practicing it, and two, I wouldn't do it during a marathon anyways, and three, only saves you, like, 1 second, so it's definitely not worth the potential time loss, unless you're really trying to go for world record or something like that. Alright. And coming up, we have the final beach level. This is level 19 out of 50, for those of you keeping track. Oh, uh-oh. Ah, shoot, that's gonna completely mess up my timing. Gotta reset. Once again, dying is slow. There we go. And I'm just gonna wait here for the next shot. I really like that level. It's just fun, constant going with the floor falling beneath you, kind of, with that stuff. Alright. So now we meet a pizza, who is named Hot Dog. Because that is the humor with this game. And, of course, I completely missed my first shot. And I missed my second shot. There we go. That was point blank. Also point out, especially with Hot Dog, the pizza here, having an eye patch, the music really reminds me of You Spin Me Right Round by Dead or Alive. Alright. Now we go to the ice world, and this first level has a very fast skip. And that's not it, that's a death. There it is. Except I died right after. Okay, let's try it one more time. One more time. There we are. Alright, and typically I can kind of do this in very few cycles, but I'm going to play it safe because I did just die twice. So, there we go. I don't want to waste too much marathon time. But in good news, this is one of those ice worlds where the gimmick isn't slippery floors. So you gotta give props to any game that's like that. Instead, we have these spikes here that's kind of gonna play a theme throughout the whole thing. Let me grab this. Now you'll notice that I was walking along with those spikes, and they moved pretty much the same speed that I was walking. Oh. And I mentioned that just because it'll come up later. We go on the right side for the kid just because it saves a few frames there. Alright, this one's a very falling level. It's pretty short and fun because of that. Whee! And right on my kid. Yep. Happy holidays. Again, all of that dialogue you gotta mash through, and that's not present in the Possum timeline. Alright, so remember how these things move as fast as I do? Well, you can see there with the jumps that I kind of caught up to it, so it's a good representation of how fast just doing that is. We get a save point right there because I sometimes choke. And I appreciate the developer thinking specifically of me when putting that save point right there. So, do appreciate that. This is, hey, the introduction of a new enemy type. You can beat the hot dog speed there, but you're still stuck on the cycle of the hot dogs that are underneath, so it doesn't matter whether you beat them or not, so might as well. And I was going to say this is level 25, the halfway point of the game, so that's pretty good already there. Of course, the game gets a bit harder and longer, phrasing, as you go along, but... And here's some more things where you can, like, force yourself to skip some jumps, but then you're stuck waiting for this cycle here anyway, so there's no point in you risking it. However, the next set of platforms I want to get on, these are some cycles you want to skip. So just hop right through to the next one, then hop to that one, and there you go. And yep, there we go. Go all the way around just to come back to the start. Somehow that was a gold split for me. This one's just a lot of springs. And you gotta collect 3 keys. Boop. It's key number 2. And then that's it. If you don't really get the key physics and, or sorry, the spring physics and how it works, that can be kind of a weird level. Here we have level 28, which I think is kind of a neat stage because it does this kind of loopy mechanic here where you grab a key and it unlocks the next room on the other side and that kind of stuff. So, left, right, you know. And do. And then hop over there. And we see that row of springs right in the middle. It's time for us to ascend! There we go. And then we have level 29, or as I call it, level 28 part 2, because I misnamed a split when I was setting things up. This is kind of a level where you can really see that a simple jump lets you go over the fireballs just fine. You don't need to double jump over them. And here I push that, and then if I go there, I can still push it. Weird collision things. Alright. Oop. There we go. Gotta push the box. And wait a minute, that doesn't look like a kid down there. If I'm not mistaken, it's the possum again. And of course they're apologizing about screeching, but they still screech. Alright, now we get the second of 3 bosses that really annoy me. It's Susan the French Fries. And the reason why this one annoys me is because they can decide to just turn around. So I typically use the 2 rocks that are on the stage to kind of guide when I should jump over them. Because if I do it earlier than that, they can kind of turn around. Like that! Alright. So... one more time. Grab the key. That's like the first boss key we actually really need to see. And here's a fun fact about Dadish. The amount of children he has changes depending on which version of the game you play. Because this world here, World 4, doesn't exist on the original mobile game. This is a console and PC exclusive. So he has 10 extra kids that don't exist on mobile. But of course, this is a fungus cave. And we all know that funguses are just giant bouncy platforms, right? Right? That's how mushrooms work. So, here we have a skip. That I failed. But this is actually a really fun skip, especially since I don't know how to do this level otherwise. There we go. That time I got it. Second try. At least I'm getting the speedrun tricks not that, badly, so... And here we're going to avoid some flying pizza? Yeah, this game gets kind of weird. Alright. And level 35. Oh, this one. This one's one that I find real easy to grow impatient on, because of this section right here. Now, it kind of looks sometimes like you can go underneath or go above, but I just hit those saw blades every time anyways, so I would just lose time. I would just lose time by attempting it, so I don't bother. And here we have a really annoying level. And I'll tell you why in just a moment. Alright, so we do this, and we get to see one hamburger swim away. It's like that bus that drives away just as you're approaching the bus stop. Yep, that's how I feel every time I see it. I've looked up speed runs on all the platforms, and as far as I can tell, there is no way to actually catch that burger. And the other thing is, if you die, you have to do that section all over again. Play it risky, that kind of stuff. Alright, so we've just gone through that annoying long wait and gone through buzzsaws, and we hit a checkpoint. So the rest of this level must be as long and difficult. Oh no, the rest of the level was actually really easy. There was one enemy and you just walked under a couple buzzsaws. And here's the second of 2 levels where we go to the left instead of the right. But for this one, if you don't remember that you need to do it, it's actually still pretty easy to do everything correctly. Alright, and boom. This one's a pretty fun one because it's just about bouncing. You do a couple of extra jumps right here so that you can properly get under those pizzas. But otherwise, it's just splashing and hopping. And then, the last level of the Fungo Caves. And, you know, It involves a bit of everything from these levels, as the final level should. Once again, we're waiting for this cycle. I don't know if there's a way to, like, make the previous one, maybe have it go faster. I do know that I don't feel more impatient as a speedrunner than I do when I'm stuck behind that hamburger up there. It's like walking on a sidewalk behind someone who's just a bit too slow, you know? And then we have the second of two bosses that I actually kind of like. The first one being the burger, second one being this ice cream, who insists he is not frozen yogurt. But he's pretty easy. You just trigger those, and he runs right into the spikes. There is a way there that you can get him stuck into the wall, and that soft locks the game, so I'm happy that didn't happen. And now we're back on track with the mobile game levels. Final world here, and we're already introduced to the new gimmick of the balloons. You'll notice that I'm skipping some with a well-timed double jump. So this next level that we're going to introduces my least favorite enemy in the game, these cola cans. Yep, because they explode and they have a weird hitbox. But cool radishes don't look at explosions. Now, jumping over them doesn't really save you any time, because once again, say it with me, you're waiting on a cycle. You gotta wait for this thing to come down. I'm gonna play this part kinda safe. I didn't mean to jump down there, but because we're in a marathon run, I want to play it kinda safe. Otherwise, I might try skipping over the cans like I did earlier in that section. It's hard. It would save some time, though. Alright, this level is pretty fun, because it's a lot of bouncing on balloons rhythmically. Whee! And you don't have to hop on every balloon, though, especially not on your way down. Alright. Once again, tight corridor, so you jump as much as possible right there. Sends you a bit forward. That was an early split. And here's the level I might death cycle a few times on. Yep, there we go. Alright. So what's worse than those exploding cans? Oh, how about exploding cans in tight spaces? Alright. Whoop. There we go. And you notice that there's no wall behind that hot dog over there. It's because if you were trying to get the stars, that would be where one of the stars is. I'm gonna wait for this. There we go. By the way, finding all the stars is how you unlock Possum Mode. But, of course, I already have it unlocked, so we don't see it. If I had the timer on, you would still see all the stars, where they are, that kind of stuff. This is one of the levels that really makes me feel like you're going in the end game. We see the return of a bunch of different gimmicks and things like that. It really makes you work for it. That little crevice there would be where a star was originally. Okay. So yeah, a lot of the levels after this one definitely have this, like, endgame feeling to them. Except for one. Oh, jeez. And hop over there. So now we get to level 46, or as I call it, the level I kept forgetting even existed. Because this one does not feel like an endgame level. It just feels like a typical level that you'd see kind of this. I feel like 46 and 45 should be swapped, and I missed the timing on that. Whoopsie. There we go. And then we're gonna push the box. I've seen some runners hop to push the little boxes too. I can't quite get, like, that short of the jumps. But apparently it's possible. But I definitely do it for the big jumps. Alright. And here we have some cannons going off. Gotta avoid those. Yep. If I was fast enough, I could make it in there and avoid the cannon double fire for the first one and save myself a cycle, but I didn't. Alright. So after this, we're gonna be facing a couple of auto-scroller levels. So I'm gonna say once again, if we have any donations or anything like that that have come in during the run, feel free to pipe up and speak about it.
Well, absolutely. We did receive a $10 donation from Felipe Rice, 11011, saying hug from the Dadish community.
Thank you very much. I posted about this a few times heading up to the race. Alright. So yeah, this is an auto-scroller. Essentially, you just hop on the platform and kind of wait, and as things go on, you just see a good kind of greatest hits of all the levels and all the gimmicks that you've seen throughout the game. This is the first of 2 auto-scrollers, and the bad one, because you're just kind of waiting around for things to happen. Alright. Here, I like going to the absolute edge. That's the only way you can really save yourself some time, is with that last jump there. But now, we have the second of the 2 auto-scrollers, and the fun one, because you can get so far ahead of those blocks, and everything moves so fast that I barely have time to even speak about it. Even with this gimmick of going back and forth and hitting the balloons and hitting the keys, it's so much fun. It takes about half as much time as level 48. Alright, and now we're at it. This is the final boss, who mixes up all the worst things of all the previous bosses. He can turn around, you need to time it correctly. He can avoid things, yep. I've been told that he, on the console versions, is a lot more RNG heavy on whether or not he turns around. And, of course, Murphy's Law, if you need him to turn around to go towards you, he's not going to. Whoa, that was an intense hit there. Really sent him launching. There are, of course, ways you can do double hits and that kind of stuff with this boss, but really it's like if he decides to turn around and you didn't want him to, whoopsie. And if something like that happens too, where he misses the platform by just a few pixels and, oh, come on. See, like right there, he turned around instantly. And I really didn't want him to. I want him to keep going to the left. Oh my gosh. Durnak, come on. All right, one more hit. There it is. That last hit came real fast, and time ends when I touch my last child. I really should have watched the phrasing for that one, but you know what I meant. When I came into contact with the kid to activate the last dialogue, and then we see the final scrolling screen. All right, so thank you everyone for coming out to Game Over Cancer and watching. It's been fun not only doing this last run, but also being the host for the last couple of nights. We get to see these credits. They go pretty fast since it's a small indie game made by one person. He just mostly has things in here. If you want to learn more about the Dadish games, yes, there is currently 4 different games going on, and they're all speedrun. You can join the Dadish speedrunning community on Discord. It's actually quite active, and I get a lot of help whenever I'm streaming. People come out and stuff like that. So I appreciate everyone who's ever given me advice on how to run this game. And of course, keep on watching Game Over Cancer Fall 2023 and keep those donations coming in. I'm going to throw it back to Mal now.
All right. Thank you very much, Leo. Huge pleasure to have you here. Thank you very much for hosting for us the last couple of days. Everybody, sit tight. We'll be back with the final run of the evening, Super Metroid Vitality 100% by Iron Rusty. See you soon.